Today we're talking about commas in coordinate adjectives. When you think about the word coordinate, you might think of things working together, and that's what we're doing with these commas in coordinate adjectives. Coordinate adjectives are adjectives that work together to describe something. Take a look at the underlined adjectives that describe the bolded noun. I like the light blue dress you are wearing. Light and blue modify dress or describe it. I could also say the long, dusty road stretched on for miles. Long and dusty are both adjectives that work together to describe road. But even though light, blue, long, dusty are all adjectives, and they're working together with another adjective to describe a noun, I have a comma in the second one, between long and dusty, but not the first one. In each of these sentences, I have several adjectives that are describing a noun. But tell me if these sentences make sense. I love my 3 and fluffy cats. My mother brought me large and chocolate chip cookies. For breakfast, we had 5 and oversized and blueberry muffins. We bought several boxes of excellent and peanut butter cookies. If you're thinking those ands don't belong, those sentences sound funny, you're right. Now I'm going to take those same adjectives and mix them up. Tell me if these make sense. I love my fluffy 3 cats. My mother brought me chocolate chip large cookies. For breakfast, we had blueberry 5 oversized muffins. We bought several boxes of peanut butter excellent cookies. If you're thinking those sound strange, you can't mix up those adjectives. You're right. So I've learned that in these sentences, even though I have several adjectives in a row describing something, I can't mix up the adjectives. They have to go in that order. I also can't put the word and between the adjectives. They have to be next to each other, without the word and dividing them. So let's go back to those first sentences, where one had a comma and one did not. I like the light blue dress you are wearing didn't have a comma, but the long, dusty road stretched on for miles did have a comma. With the first sentence, I don't have a comma. I can't mix up the adjectives and say, I like the blue light dress you're wearing, unless it's a Kmart special. And I also can't say, I like the blue and light dress you are wearing. I can't mix up the adjectives, and I can't put and between it, so I don't need a comma. The second says, the long, dusty road stretched on for miles. And I can say, the dusty long road stretched on for miles. I can also say, the long and dusty road stretched on for miles. I can switch those adjectives around and put the word and between them, so I do need a comma. So what's the test? Ask yourself, can you put the word and between the adjectives? And can you put the adjectives in any order? If the answers are yes and yes, then yes, you need a comma. If the answers are no and no, then no, you don't need a comma. Let's take a look at a couple sentences from Grammar Bites. The green slimy Martian attacked. I could say the slimy green Martian, or the green and slimy Martian, and because I can flip the adjectives around and put the word and between them, I should have a comma. The second one says, the pale, sweating student stared at the PowerPoint as he tried to determine whether or not to use a comma. I can say, the sweating, pale student stared, or the pale and sweating student stared, which means I do need a comma. In the last sentence, 5 flashy sports cars raced down the road. I can't say, the sports flashy 5 cars raced, or the 5 and flashy and sports cars raced, so I don't need a comma. Let's take a look at a few more. I've underlined the adjectives and bolded the nouns. 2 cluttered computer tables and an unmade, sagging bed fill Antonio's small bedroom. Could I say cluttered 2 computer tables? Could I say 2 and cluttered and computer tables? Could I say a sagging, unmade bed? Or an unmade, sagging bed? In the second one, the cute, soft, frisky ferret will bite your fingers if you try to pick him up. Could I say the cute and soft and frisky ferret? Can I say the soft, frisky, cute ferret? How about this third one? Michael's faded, ragged jacket was an inappropriate choice of clothing for his second interview at SunTrust Bank. Could I say his ragged and faded jacket? His ragged faded jacket? The hot, spicy squid eyeball stew steamed in a bowl on the clean, shiny kitchen counter. Can I say the squid eyeball hot, spicy stew? Could I say the hot and spicy and squid eyeball stew? How about shiny, clean kitchen? Could I say clean, shiny kitchen? A strange smell emanated from Barbara's disorganized book bag. Could I say her book disorganized bag? Or her disorganized and book bag? Pause for just a minute and think about whether or not you need those commas before we look at the answers. I couldn't switch around the words to, cluttered, and computer, and I couldn't put the word and between them, so I didn't need commas there. However, I could have said the sagging unmade bed or the unmade sagging bed and sagging bed, so I needed a comma there. I could also switch around cute, soft, and frisky. I could also put the word and between them, so I did need commas there. In the third one, I could say Michael's ragged, faded jacket or his faded and ragged jacket, so I did need a comma. 4 is a little tricky. I could switch around hot and spicy to spicy hot, but I had to put those two adjectives before squid eyeball stew. Those had to go in that order, so I didn't have a comma after spicy. I could say the clean and shiny kitchen counter or the shiny clean kitchen counter, so I did need a comma there. In the last one, I couldn't say her book disorganized bag or her disorganized and book bag, so I didn't need a comma there. So again, your questions are, can you switch the commas? Can you add and? If the answers are yes and yes, then yes, you need a comma. If the answers are no and no, then no, you don't need a comma.